Hey guys, salut mes amis, och hallo gubbar, Maxime here. With the recent update that came out, Austria was introduced to competitive matchmaking. I played a game on it just to see how it felt and was pleasantly surprised by how fun the map is. It's actually not that big, the rounds were fast, and it was easy to learn. But the map actually introduces a new type of meta that I haven't seen in a competitive map. I'll talk about it more in this video, but I want to show you a mouse that HyperX sent me first. This is the Pulsefire FPS Pro. It uses the Pixart 3389 sensor, it's got a comfortable ergonomic design, and has a nice grip to it, plus the cable's braided. You have 6 programmable buttons with onboard memory to store customizations. All of this can be accessed with the Ingenuity software. It weighs about 95 grams, which is very optimal for its size, which is 128 x 71 x 42 millimeters. And it's got extra large mouse gates for smooth controlled gliding. Read more about it in the video description. Also, I'm giving it away to one of you guys. Now back to the video. If you look at how the different maps in the official map pool are designed, they focus a lot on the bomb sites and where you can plant the bomb. You'll notice that the pathways to the sites are always smaller and more narrow. The site is usually a big area. This gives us room to allow us to play how we want on the site, and it works pretty okay with all types of weapons. These two sites are different, but they have one thing in common. They're still much larger and much more diverse in proportion to their pathways. Okay, wait, I think that's 2 things in common? Or maybe just 1 because of how I said it? Whatever. The same goes for all maps in the active duty map pool. There's a clear pattern. Overall, the bomb sites are larger and more diverse than the pathways leading to them, which gives players more freedom to play how they want from site. The bomb sites on Austria are a bit unique. But wait, please understand, this doesn't need to mean that it's bad. It's just different, and I noticed it on my first matchmaking game. Anyway, the biggest difference is the bomb sites and pathways are not so different from each other. They're also quite open, which means they're less safe, especially if you don't have any long-range weapons. This changes the meta that we're used to from the active duty map pool. If I had to play alone without an op on A, I would find it a bit difficult. I think I would favor this spot, or this one, maybe this one, but the way the bomb site is built, it's telling me to move either forward or backwards or find a safer alternative. Another thing that puts CTs in a lot of pressure because of the bomb sites being so similar to the pathways are the plant zones. The plant zone on A is right in front of this pathway, which means the Ts can plant the bomb here. This reminds me a little bit of Overpass on a site, but the difference here is how large the site is in comparison to the pathway. Notice how the bomb site is quite big. You can't just use a single smoke to plant the bomb safely. You would have to smoke out these 3 areas before you can truly feel safe. Because of the plant zone being right in front of the pathway, and because they're both very similar in size and narrowness, is that even a word? It allows the Ts to smoke in front, flash over, and plant without having to worry about clearing the site. This puts, as I said before, a lot of pressure onto the CTs early, which means most of the times, you'll notice that they're forced to lurk inside the building in the middle of the map. I also found this neat lineup, so if you have a molly and a jump bind, you can do this. Because the plant zone is in front of the pathway, which can be held by your team after smoking, you might get an easy and early plant. It's pretty much the same thing on B site. And notice how the bomb site is not much larger than the pathways. Your choices become very limited because there's less angles that favor pistols and shorter range weapons from site, unless you have a good buddy system or an op. Also, this balcony position is great, and it's a crazy after plant spot. What I'm trying to say is, we're often used to holding sites because that's where the focus usually is. This map changes the meta by forcing the CTs to play a little different because the pathways and sites are not so different from each other. And you could say the sites favor T side because of the after plant scenarios you can create. It doesn't need to be a bad thing at all, I just like to explain how these things may look and feel for others. Also, if you want my advice for CT side, a good default setup would be to put 2 players with long-range weapons, like an op for example, around here, and have the rest inside the building, one towards A, one towards balcony, and one holding middle. Also, I respect the map for introducing a different playstyle. I actually like when things are different, and this was a fun experience. In the end, the map did get to competitive matchmaking. What are your thoughts on the map? Do you like it? Let me know down below. If you want to support my channel, make sure you like the video, subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you guys soon. Stay awesome and go bananas.